Chardonnay. The White Zinfandel. Stupid. Stupid. Ugh. Alright, let me block this down. Got that. Turn this up because I'm partially deaf. Alright, here we go.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. Joining us live in the studio, we have EDM DJ CORM that will be joining us. Also, a new trend for males to prove their masculinities, and a new trendy secret dinner parties involving mermaids, and kids emojis you should be on the lookout for. All this and much more will be discussed here on All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive, and for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on the social news stories and viral videos you might have missed over the last couple days, or we'll be talking about it here in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about. Make sure that you're getting along with everyone right now. Unfortunately, taking over TikTok is France. France is not getting along with the United States. Why? I don't know. It might have to deal with something about the Statue of Liberty, and this is going all over TikTok, and people are saying, oh, no, Trump's going to send back the Statue of Liberty to France. Now, believe me, we don't get political on this show, but when the time prevails and stupid things happen, I'm going to point out the stupid things that are happening. So let's find out what's going on with the new statue, well, the news about the Statue of Liberty. And so here we go. A French politician fascistly asked the United States to return the Statue of Liberty, suggesting the country no longer lives up to the values of the green-hued gift it represents. Raphael Glucksmann, a member of the European Parliament, with a progressive... Raphael Glucksmann, a member of the European Parliament with the Progressive Alliance of the Socialists and Democrats, said in a party convention on Sunday that he had a message to the Americans who have chosen to side with tyrants, who fired researchers and demanded scientific freedom. I guess that was his big quote. Give us back the Statue of Liberty, he said while smiling as a crowd cheered on. We gave it to him as a gift, but apparently you despise it, so it'll be just fine here at home. Lady Liberty, full name Liberty Enlightening the World, was a conceptualized by French anti-slavery activists. I'm going to mess this up. I know there's a lot of people out there that study history, and Inardo de la Bourrier in 1865 in honor of the centennial of the United States Declaration of Independence and its friendship with France. Those who supported and helped the American Revolution. After years of construction, shipping and assembly of the statue was officially unveiled in 1886 in New York Harbor, where it raises a torch and inscribed the words of welcome, greeting billions of immigrants who arrived at Ellis Island in the late 19th century and early 2000s. To ensure the global symbol of freedom, patriotism, and democracy, and the lack thereof in the decades since. Ordinary people from the American suffrage... yeah, they got it to half show. Ordinary people from the America in the 1800s and 1900s to the Chinese, ordinary people from America's suffragans in the 1800s and the 1900s to the Chinese students in the 1980s have raised the Statue of Liberty's likeness to call for greater equality and the end of injustice and more enlightened society. Glucksmann commented, Gluckman's comment comes at a time when the U.S. has been criticized at the home abroad about abandoning some of the commitments, including the crackdown of immigration and alienation of European allies. Glucksmann also has been vocal has been a vocal critic of Trump's decision to temporarily suspend aid to the Ukraine as it defends itself from Russia. When asked about Gluckman's requests, which he had since confirmed was symbolic, at the Monday briefing, the White House press secretary Carolyn Leavitt said absolutely not. So here she is right here when asked about it, and that was what was her name? Caroline Leavitt. And this is her response to the question. So don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. You can check us out. Go to DeaconLive podcast over on YouTube. Give us a like and subscribe over there. You can see the full-length podcast over there as well. And you can also see DJ CORM that's coming up here shortly. So here we go. This is her response to, should we give the Statue of Liberty back?
President Trump going to send the Statue of Liberty back to France?
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now.
Oh, yeah, sick burn. Sick burn. No, but it's true. Some of the stuff that comes out of their mouth, mostly mine, but I mean, the people like, oh, you're not representing the gift that we gave you, we're going to take it back. No backsy takesies. No backsy takesies. You know, what if we take back all the stuff and just let the things happen over in Europe during World War II happen? No. Now, I'm too young to understand all that stuff in World War II, but I did study history for, you know, the requirements in school and through my growing up and so. But to take the Statue of Liberty back, then what are you going to put up there? What are you going to put up there to represent the United States? You can't. We'll trade you. We'll do landmark trade, right? We'll trade you the Eiffel Tower. It's like playing Monopoly. I'll trade you B&O Railroad that you guys obviously deserve because, you know, you guys have worked hard and slaved on the backs of Americans and slavery and stuff. And we'll trade you Baltic Avenue. Fuck that. Baltic Avenue sucks. It's the same thing. Why would you trade the Statue of Liberty or give the Statue of Liberty back? Are you going to come get it? Come get it. Come get it. I'm not taking this down. You guys do it. You want to come get it? Come get it. And then they're going to put something up there like, I don't know, someone looking like Pocahontas. Pocahontas out there. Make a big statue of Pocahontas because she led the way for the travelers to, you know, go across the. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying. It's just it's a mess. It's just a mess. No, he's not giving it back. So if you see that on TikTok, he's not giving the Statue of Liberty back. Come on, come on. So you tell him not in the mood. I am not in the mood today. All right, when we come back, this girl thought she could just slap down her credit card, her debit card, pay for her car, and just drive off the lot. When they stopped her, she's like, say what? So stick around. We'll get into her story and what all happened to stop her from driving off the lot. So you're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, you can be heard. You can be part of the show. You can be podcast famous. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says, be heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. And we'd like to hear your voice on all the stuff that we talk about here on the show. And the way you get that in there is if you got a microphone on your device, wherever you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. Comes right to our inbox. And we broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful town called Marshall. And your voice can be right here in the studio with us. Ask us anything, tell us anything, let us know about anything. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says be heard. Comes right to our inbox and we'll play your voice right here on the podcast. And so this, and now this young lady right here, actually, now there's a new series out there on Netflix called Adolescence. And what it's telling us right now, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I might have to check it out after this article. So police have revealed a secret code that your child might be using online following the release of the Netflix thrilling drama Adolescence. One of the central themes is showing the sinister meaning behind common emojis. From kidney beans to love hearts, insidious symbols are revealed to hide surprising code that most adults would never be able to spot. But emojis aren't only characters that parents should be aware of. There's an intensive list released from the Nottingham Police reveals how several words, hashtags, and acronyms should raise alarm bells. The list is divided into 3 categories: the warning flags, terms to keep an eye on, and also fun. Well, good. Let's throw that in there. Some of the terms, such as NSFW, which is not safe for work, is basic, and DM, direct message, should be pretty familiar to computer-savvy parents. But would they know what CD9 means, or KNOC, or IWSN stands for? Well, here's what the teen code really means, and what you should do if you spot it on your child's phone. According to the Nottinghamshire, God, just shorten that up a little bit, please. The police department lists 52 words, hashtags, and acronyms that raises alarm bells for parents, surprisingly revealing warning flags are related to drug and alcohol. This includes 420, which we all know is cannabis or marijuana, crow, which they actually call cannabis, molly, ecstasy, pre-ing, which is pre-drinking. We always call it pre-gaming. Why do we call it pre-ing? All right. Wavy, meaning drunk or high, and wired means a drug-induced paranoia. Other focuses on mental health, including hashtag ANA, which is for anorexia, hashtag DEB for depression, hashtag SUE for suicide, and SVV of self-harming behavior, and also hashtag ThinSP for thinspirations, messages going out there to body shame you. However, the most common thing within this group, acronyms are aware of, the acronyms to be aware of are that include CU46. You can figure that one out just by me stumbling over it. Also, FWB, friends with benefits, FYEO, for your eyes only. Is that what it is? Is that what it says on James Bond's package? FYEO? He's going to go, James, what does this mean? Another thing is GNOC, get naked on camera. That's a big one. IWSN, which means I want sex now. I want sex now. Okay, we always call it DTF, but you know what? Kids can adapt things. And also, the worst one is NIFOC, naked in front of computer. Meanwhile, sex-related words and phrases are flagged by police include down in the DM, plans on their social media or text for upcoming sexual hookups, and also hooking up and having sex. Smash, casual sex, and thirsty, which is desperate. While it's not concerning that the warning flags, Nottinghamshire Police has also revealed 60 words, hashtags, and acronyms that parents should keep an eye on. Most of these acronyms, several of them which you might already know, like AF is, as fuck, and DM is direct message, and so on and so forth. TMB stands for tweet me back. What's a tweet? While VS, I can't even say the letters. They're right there in front of me. I can't even say them. VSF is very sad face. SWAK is sealed with a kiss. There's so many more. Other terms to be on the lookout are relatively potential for cyberbullying. So there's a new series out there that's called Adolescence on Netflix. So if you want to know them all, I'm not going to sit here and read them all. But there's a lot of them out there. Like, let's see if I can find one right here. It is BFN. That's bye for now. That's okay. That's a good one to have. Oh, the weirdest one was, I was looking through this list, and just the number 9 is parent is watching. So that's something you might need to look for as well. So there you go. Those are the things to look out when you're on your kid's phone and they got all these different things going on. Hashtag look at my phone. Now, hashtag I didn't know. I thought this was America. I thought I could buy a car. This woman right here thought she could just swipe her card and dip. Woman goes to a dealership to buy a car and then tells that she cannot take it home. The whole car buying experience is unnecessarily awful, she says. Now, if you think you just drive off the lot with a new car, you think again. But you can, though. At least this is the message that Sydney Michaels on her TikTok channel, it's Meka Sinini. These names, they got to fix them a little bit better. Shared on February 22nd on TikTok. It has now drawn over 602,000 views as of Sunday. In the next 6-second video, 6 seconds? That's all it took for her to get 600,000? I do an hour-long show. I can't even get 100,000. Well, I get close to 100,000. Where she exhibits the decidingly sour expression on the screen captions and tells her tale. I thought when you bought a car, you could get it the same day. I have to wait till Monday. What the... And with a TF, the fuck, added to the illustration on her discontented her. She was pissed. Added to her illustrated discontent even further. The caption accompanying the video gets into a little bit more of the backstory. What the fuck? I need to get insurance when I drive it off the lot, she adds. I'm excited to show you all what it looks like. In the comments to the video, she explains a little bit further. It's a used car, and I'm getting new tires, so I'm having them get it all set up for me, she wrote. My papers don't upload till Monday either, so I can't. You typically do get it the same day. Okay? If you went near closing, I may understand, especially if they need to inspect the car, file, paperwork, drive, a lot of this. Still, I'm excited. In part 2, in the video showing her at the dealership, where she clarifies via caption, my lender opens back up on Monday to send the check as well. Kids. She does not, however, in the video or the later on videos on her page reveal what the dealership she's at or what the car looks like. Car and driver advises getting insurance before you make the car purchase official. However, if you already are carrying car insurance, perhaps one you're trading in on a new car, you might be okay for a short period. Yeah, I explained that to someone a long time ago when I was buying a vehicle. And I traded a vehicle, and I'm like, look, I have insurance on this vehicle here. They wouldn't let me pull it off. I'm like, isn't there's something called a bridge or rainbow or something like that where you guys cover it for 48 hours until my insurance takes over? And they were like going, we've never heard of that. I'm like, well, yeah, look it up. And if you guys have done that, or if you're familiar with that, let me know. Go over to Prophet Radio. Let us heard or be heard over on the Deacon Live section. So let's see. Where's her TikTok video? We have to see it. She's told us so much about it. So let me switch over to camera as soon as this loads up. Switch over to camera 4. Here she is. Aw, she looks upset. Look at her. She's so upset. I'm sure there's a song or something. So here, let's see what she's got going on. Oh, I thought when you bought a car, you could get it the same day. Oh, that's it. 600,000 views for that stupid video. I'm just going to sit here and look at the camera. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and look at the camera for 6 seconds, put it up on TikTok, and just say, the police took my car. And that's it. No explanation or anything, and just see how many likes I can get on that. Well, girl, I'm sorry to say, it takes a little bit more. Welcome to the world of life. You have a car. You're buying a new car or used car. I wish you luck. I wish you luck in the future. You're youngin'. You can get through this. Believe me, I know. All right, when we come back live in the studio, we have EDM DJ CORM joining us here on the program. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on YouTube, and the way you do that is search Deacon Live Podcast. And give us a like and subscribe over there. You can get the full-length podcast over there as well. And joining us here in the studio all the way from Lafayette, Louisiana, EDM DJ CORM. How are you? and thanks for joining us today.
This is cool. I like that you do this.
So with a name like CORM, CORM, I'm sure you get this a lot. How did you come up with, because there's a lot of DJs out there that say, I'm DJ lightning speed. I'm, something that has to deal with the electronica music or what their skill levels are. I used to be DJ bump the record player 4 or 5 times. That's my DJ name. But as far as like CORM, where did that come from? One
of the newer surgeons, Patrick CORM. And so I just adopted that, and people in the operating room call me the same thing. And so I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty dope. It's also identifies me well, and I like it. And so that's kind of where the name came from. And just to kind of emphasize that's who you're talking about, I put those 2 exclamation points after that. So.
Is it an angry CORM, or is it just like, hey, I'm CORM, I'm here to set everything straight here?
It's a CORM that's full of excitement and emotion, and I think I bring that through the music as well. So yeah, that's all that.
So I was reading your bio. It's a very mild bio. I mean, you haven't done a whole lot. I mean, since starting CORM, but you play college basketball.
Yeah.
And how did that go? You were trying to get into the NBA, or you qualified for the NBA? Did I read that wrong?
So I played for a semi-pro league.
Okay.
I played overseas for a little while, and so yeah, I went pro. But LSU was fun, man. I was there at the time of DJ Diesel, great Shaq. People know him as Shaq. And it was a great time at LSU. Learned a lot, and met some good people that I still keep up with today. So
Did you ever play against the big man?
Well, we were on the same team, thank goodness. So I didn't have to play against him. So.
Well, sometimes they run practice teams and stuff.
Yeah, practice teams. Yeah, I tried to sneak up behind him one time and dunk, but it didn't work out.
He's a smart man. He's a smart
Smart big man. Yeah.
So outside of LSU, you became, you didn't just come out of college and go right into DJing. So tell me how that journey led to you to come into being an EDM DJ.
Yeah. So at around 2015. I'd been in practice for now probably 6 or 7 years, and I always really loved just the energy of EDM. I mean, I remember this stuff dates back, ways, and so it's always kind of been this high energy. Forget about the bad things in life, and you can work out and have fun and do what you want to do. So I went to this concert in Alabama. It's called Hangouts Fest. And I saw Skrillex. Skrillex was in concert. And, man, I looked across the crowd, and people were just having a blast.
Eating it up.
Yeah, they were. I mean, it was like, I can't even tell you, hundreds of thousands. And they weren't thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or the stress of today. They were just having fun. And, as a DJ coming up in high school, I said, man, I looked at that, and I said, man, I need to get back to this. This is real energy. And so that's kind of really how it started. So, at that time, I had a little money since I was working, finally had a real job. I went online and I said, I want to get exactly what the equipment that Skrillex had. And so I ordered all this stuff and I got it in. I was like, wow, this is a little complicated.
It's very complicated.
So, the whole 9, man, the CDJs and the mixing board. And I started kind of toying around with it. And then it got to be really, really fun. And it started lasting longer periods of time. I'd go upstairs and start, mixing up some things. And, a half hour became 3 hours. And, how that is, you lose time. And so eventually I said, you know what, this is probably going somewhere. And I was kind of working with some other organizations outside of my medical career. And said, look, I want to send us a couple of DJs, and Skrillex was one of them. And really, we didn't hear back much. And I decided, you know what, let's just find out what they're going to say. So I asked my agent to reach out, and someone from another group said, yeah, he can DJ, but does he have his own original music? And I was like, well, nope.
That's another step, yeah.
Right. So I had this Ableton suite. It was like Ableton Suite 9 at the time. And it needed to be upgraded. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start kind of dealing with this. So 343 Labs out of New York, I started doing courses online every Monday for like an hour and 45 minutes. And one song, my first song took me probably about 3 or 4 months. And then one song became 3 songs, became 7 songs, and now I have a catalog of over 300. And so it just really blossomed from there, and just, man, it's been great. So that's kind of how it came to be.
So the song that we're playing on the Deacon Live show right now, one of them is In the Air at Night. Now, that's a classic. That's Phil Collins' first single that he had when he went solo. And how does that happen? How does that go down when, you know, you're using someone else's song and getting the copyrights for it and then putting your name on it? Because that's always been like a mystery to me. How do these DJs, who, not necessarily you, but, you know, get paid to play other people's songs? I know there's ASCAP's license and BMI license and all that, but I mean, to create that mix and then put your name on it, how does that process work?
Yeah, so if you can take a cover, because that's really not his original voice. But if you use a cover, that's already kind of been hashed out. It's been licensed from other people to use. So if you do the remix or someone covering it, it's a little bit different. Now, if you use the original artist, it's always, you have to have their permission to do that. And so you have to get in touch with the publicist or the manager, et cetera. And once you get something in writing, then it's cool. And then, you know, you get paid, but they also get royalties off of it. So the benefits of that doing another artist or doing a remix is that it'll bring some notoriety to your skill set, while, you know, you're taking just an iconic song and changing it a little bit, and it's able to migrate over to another demographic. And so people can listen to it again and go, man, you know what, that's kind of dope. And so you take some things that some people might consider, you know, dark or you know, a little bit slow. You speed up the BPMs, you spice up a little bit, drop some different types of hi-hats or bass tones in it, and it becomes a different song in some ways, but still that flavor, iconic feel of what only Phil Collins can do.
That similar hook, so everyone's like going, I think I know this song, and then the lyrics start coming in, and everyone's like, I know this song. The only thing I'm listening to the whole song, you know what part I'm looking for. You know what part everyone's looking for. They're waiting for that Phil Collins fill somewhere in there, that you know, and everyone wants to beat on their steering wheel as they're listening to it. And I noticed that I don't know if it was the original cover, the person that you got the original cover from, did they take it out, or did you take it out, or what? I mean, how did you approach that? Because that's the staple of the song.
Yeah, so Marcel and I, when we got together, and actually I did a remix prior to that before we decided to collaborate on it. And I had it in there, and then when we started kind of going back and forth, and I heard some of what he was bringing to the table, and the overall song of it, just, I liked where he kind of took that song. And so in it, yeah, it was kind of risky, but we took a chance, and that's kind of how it happened.
I was, you know, me not being a DJ, I was waiting for like the wub and the square wave to come in, that whoa, 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 you know, the Skrillex sound, you know, that would have been a creative blend. But, you know, I'm just a little guy talking behind a microphone here. So now,
oh, man, I get it.
Now tell me your collaboration. You brought up Marcel Scott. How did you guys meet, and you know, and his collaboration with you?
So one of my first, it's either my first or my second album. I was looking for kind of an intro, because I had a show I needed to do, and there are some sites where they can create your intro. Well, I found this one site, and there was a song I came across, and it was called "I Want the DJ," and I was like, man, what? Let me just listen to this, and I heard it. And it was such a cool song. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to use it kind of as an intro. And so then Marcel kind of reached out to me. And after that, we just started, you know, doing some things together, exchanging notes, and then started making music. That's kind of how it just organically happened.
Now, I know what EDM stands for. What is your definition of EDM? Because I grew up, I'm from Orlando, Florida, and that at the time, Miami, the Orlando area, it was kind of like the birth of the all-night rave scenes. You would see it all the times in the Florida area. Clubs would stay open until 6 o'clock, and they got rid of that a long time ago. You know, I'm used to, like, you know, jungle. I'm used to the ambient and all that stuff. Define to everyone your version of what EDM is.
Well, I think I agree. So electronic dance music encompasses so many different things, and you're right, man. I mean, there's so many different styles, so many different genres of it. Whether you're thinking about, you know, big house or Are you looking at trance, future house, deep bass, etc.? It's EDM is to me, it's energy balanced with emotion. It's a creativity or a site where you can go and you create many different things that are really based on your emotion. And you can, when you run into runner's block, a writer's block, you have some access to different tools that can, you can spice these things up. I think that it's allowed some creators to do things on their own in-house, create studios that aren't so expensive as they've been in the past. And when I think about EDM since the 2010s, so to speak, we've gone from big room anthems to more diverse sounds like melodic bass and hybrid trap and techno influences, and it's going to change. And what excites me most really about the technology from it is that it allows producers, like I said, to push creative boundaries. There's AI, there's modular synths, there's new production techniques that are really changing the game, and I think EDM is going to be limitless going forward.
Now, explain you have another song that we're playing here on the show. It's called "Ruined." Now, I forgive me, I was looking to see if it was another cover or something else. Is this an original? Or
an original.
It is
Yeah.
original. So the song "Ruined" that we're playing is an original song for you. How did that process? How did you get the idea for the song "Ruined"?
So I've done a couple songs with an artist by the name of Helene, and she had a song called Voodoo, where she's on getting credited for. And so she I came across the lyrics to that song, and there are a couple of other songs that she's kind of sent to me, or I have access to. And when I heard it, it's just kind of one of those things that'll just grab you. And so as you're getting inspired, you start thinking about a song that's gonna maybe address some things that might have happened in your life. And from there, it just takes off. You start thinking about a beat that you can put to it, a cool chord progression. Her voice is amazing. And so that's kind of how it blossomed.
You've got, you're on Spotify. You're on, social media and all that. What are the advantages that you're seeing? Let's backtrack a little bit. When did you start being an actual, DJ where, hey, I could probably make a little bit of like a side hustle on this? Or is this your full-time job being the DJ CORM?
Yeah. Travis, this is a good question. So I'm just having fun.
It's always good to have fun, man. It always.
Through this platform, through platforms like that, first of all, I think, really the power of streaming has really changed things. Like, your platform, being able to have access to it, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, et cetera, allows, artists like me to now reach kind of the world. And, in that process, like you said, social media really changed the game for a lot of us. You don't have to go out and sell vinyls all the time. You don't have to go out and sell 8-track tapes or something. You can create some music and get it out on so many different streams, and it can go viral in a matter of minutes.
Well, there's no more music television anymore. There's no more, the CDs are being faded out left and right. So social media and Spotify and all that, yes, has taken over. I mean, just think about like SoundCloud. I heard about SoundCloud, 15 years ago. I'm like, this platform, how does this work? I didn't understand it. And then all these rappers were coming out. All these guys were coming out that were quote unquote SoundCloud artists. And so, yeah, streaming in your case would has benefited on, for all the way around. So you're doing well with that. So at being a DJ, you've done live events. Describe the feeling that you get when you're up there. Now, I know you don't do like weddings and stuff like that. You're not that kind of DJ. No. You're a party guy. So you do like big events and crowds and festivals, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I've been invited to several festivals, and the last one I did was the Brickyard in Indianapolis, and I was on the same card with Colt Ford and Boomtown Saints. And when you're up there, it's really and it's amazing. I mean, there's energy that you really can't describe. And I did crazy enough, it's gonna sound weird. I did surgery on a guy who was a Cajun fiddler, and he told me, and he's in the Hall of Fame now. And he said, man, he said, Jason, I don't make music or play the fiddler because I think I'm good. He says, I make music to make people feel good. And that kind of resonated well with me. And so part of my litmus test whenever I make some music, even before, you get on stage, even before I release it, my wife, Caitlin, gets to listen to it first. And if she doesn't like it, then, thumbs down.
Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Two thumbs up.
Right. And then in the operating room, people get to listen to it and they tell me what they think. And what's been so amazing, even beyond, the crowds and all that, our 8-year-old son Brixton is actually taking a liking to EDM, and he even starts. So mom downloaded a program, and so now he's looking into this stuff, and it's really been cool. And he's such a bright kid. The sky's the limit for him. But he's really digging the music, and that makes you feel good.
Now I wasn't going to bring this up, but you've already brought it up 3 or 4 times already. So, and you just kind of schmoozed over. Oh yeah, I was doing surgery on this one guy, and he's a fiddle player, and my patient, and all that stuff. So, what is your actual title? I mean, you're not just Jason, the DJ CORM. You are.
I'm a neurosurgeon.
You're a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, I'm a neurosurgeon. So I do complex brain surgery. I do complex spine surgery, spinal reconstructions, brain tumors. Yeah. In fact, I was operating earlier this week and had a clinic today, and was really geeked up about getting to talk to you on this platform.
Well, we're excited to have you. I'm geeked up because I'm like going. I told my wife, I go, we have a doctor on the show. Oh, you got a doctor coming? I said, yeah, but he's an EDM DJ too. She's like, well, how does that happen? I go, I don't know. I'm going to find out today. So for my wife's benefit, how did that happen? I mean, how do you separate the two? Because you're holding people's lives in your hand, and yet on the other side, you're making people feel good and enjoying themselves. I mean, how do you regulate the time between the two? I'm sure being a doctor in itself is pretty much manipulating all your time.
But Travis, you said you're a DJ. Music, I think, is really the heart's right to breathe. It's very it's a serenity. It's a place that you can go. Your stress level drops so much, and you can really just kind of relax. It's almost like a I don't know, not to push drinking wine or whatnot, but it's like a really smooth glass of wine. Mm-hmm. And you have an inspiration, and to me, it's almost like it's just therapy. Right, your creativity meets therapy. You can get your emotions out, and I think a lot of artists would really agree with that. But in the operating room, if I'm performing something like spine surgery, where some people might consider that, it sounds weird, but carpentry.
I can see that, yes.
Yeah, you want to be in your element, and so high energy music, you're not dancing to it, but you're in your zone. Whether you're working on a car or doing something, you're in your zone with music. Now, if I'm in the brain, as the music genre is going to change quite a bit, but it's still going to be some form of EDM. It might be Mama Tom or something,
right,
or something slower. But the point is, I think I've been blessed in that I can listen and still be myself. And the way those things come together and merge together has really been something special. So there's an overlap between the music and neurosurgery. I had this platform called Moving Heads. So whether that means bobbing your head or, in the racing sector of NASCAR or even in the operating room, it's like you're moving your head. And in some ways, many ways, it kind of overlaps.
Are you kind of like Clark Kent and Superman? Do the people at work know that you're DJ CORM? When you leave the office and you've taken the gloves off and you've taken the scrubs off and stuff, do they know that you do this on the outside?
A lot of them know they get a kick out of it, and so yeah, you're right. You have that Superman cape when you come home, and Caitlin reminds me I'm just Jason.
Settle down, Jason.
But she's
knock you down a peg or two.
Videos and do edits and things like that. So it's such a joy to have both atmospheres.
Well, that's good. That's good. A lot of doctors play golf. Nobody criticizes them for playing golf. A lot of doctors go deep sea fishing. You create EDM music, which is great. I think it's awesome. Now, if you've had someone to collaborate with, who are the guys that you're looking at right now saying, I know you said Skrillex and all that, and that's what got you started. Who are you looking at now to say, man, if I could just achieve that level or just get to his status or to work side by side with him and collab with him? Who are you looking at?
Man, I would still love, to collaborate with somebody as big as, Skrillex or Diplo. Tiesto, those big names, those guys really created what we've been able to do. But even outside of that, people like Halsey, big time singers. There's some music coming out soon with the big name artist that we just finished up a track, and I don't want to spoil it, so people have to tune in. She has like 2 million followers on Spotify. So some big things are coming, but the other collaborations, I've branched over the country music. And so I was able to collaborate with Colt Ford, redoing his Dirt Road Anthem, Boomtown Saints, and they're really blowing up. All Trucks Go to Heaven, and Ty Herndon. So, we're doing some things with Shenandoah. We had a collaboration. I'm part of 8-Track Entertainment. And so that's Shenandoah did a duet with Luke Bryan and Jason Aldean. And so having those contacts and being able to do some country music remixes, that's kind of where this is going to, but Future Rave and other things are coming.
We're talking to EDM DJ CORM, CORM, exclamation point. So for aspiring DJs, the kids that are out there and people that listen to our show, if they were thinking about maybe I'd like to be a DJ, I don't know if I need to have the right equipment, there's a lot of money involved. What kind of advice do you have for people starting out to be a DJ and people that are in the business right now financially, business wise, watch your money, it's not going to last forever type deal. What advice do you have for those two groups?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. So I would say stay consistent. Don't be afraid to experiment. The industry moves fast, and but originality is always going to stand out, and your fans are going to know it. Focus on sound design, arrangement, and storytelling in your music. Build off of inspirations. Don't just kind of follow the crowd, because you're not going to. Things that are organic are going to tell your story from your heart. I think networking is key. Collaborations are definitely key, and don't spend too much money. Don't go spend all your rent money and whatnot, because the streaming doesn't pay as much as you think it might pay.
Pennies for millions, right?
Right, exactly. You're not gonna get crazy rich all that, and maybe you do if your song goes viral and it's super dope and you have traction. But I think the point is, stay consistent. Do it because you love it. That's why I'm doing it. I'm having fun. I never expected to be, a Skrillex or Calvin Harris or a Diplo. I'm having fun, and through just making some good organic music and making good friends, like with 8-Track Entertainment. Shout out to Noah Gordon and Jeff Goodwin. It's been great, man, and I've garnered several million streams. So I'm just gonna try to keep it going, but it's fun. That's the biggest point. It's just fun.
Being in this business, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of different DJs and stuff. And they always had like the vinyl records. I'm talking way back in the day. I started this in 97, and they had the records with the little piece of tape on it, and they'd sit there and just watch the record. I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, I'm counting the beats. I'm counting the, how many times that thing goes around and how many, trying to figure out the BPMs, because it was all vinyl. We didn't have the stuff that we have today. Now, are you opposed to using vinyl, or are you like multimedia? Do you use everything?
I use everything. I mean, I think even with the CDJs, they're never going to really have the feel of the techniques, techniques 1200.
The 1200, yep.
Going to be the staple of a DJ. So I would, in live concerts, obviously, the CDJs are what you have. It's what you're going to show up in when you go to big clubs. But if you're doing something, local or not, man, bring out the 1200s. Like that's your staple.
So you were in college. You played for LSU. You played semi-pro basketball. You're a doctor. A neurosurgeon, not just a doctor, a neurosurgeon. I mean, you're literally in the guts, and you're a DJ, EDM DJ. What is the future for CORM right now? Where do you see you going? Do you see the DJing taking over the doctor portion, the medical field of it, or is it just, hey, I play golf, if I spend a little money on my golf clubs, so be it type deal?
This was like, as a driver, this is fun for me. We select, I've been invited to festivals in, Canada, Italy, different areas, Brazil. And if there's like we might go spend a couple of weeks out there, that might be cool. But to turn that engine on and become full-time doing that, no, I'm not really interested in doing that. But collaborating, creating good music, standing behind the scenes, being a producer, engineer, that's really what I like to do. And really the future, you know, like I said, I have I had a new song drop last night, actually called Highs and Lows, with a artist called Lacey. And so things like that, collaborating with people and just making good music that makes people feel good. You know, family is very important. And so I think also for aspiring DJs, you know, your family has to be part of that. You know, don't lose sight of that, because no matter how crazy it gets with all the things that I'm dancing around with, whether it's dealing with the NFL, dealing with the NCAA, racing, work with number of different organizations through what I do. I try to keep family first, because at the end of the day, when you come home, and that's where it is, and everything I do is for them.
So where can our listeners get a hold of you outside of this show right here? You know, do you have a social media? I'm sure you do. You got a big presence in social media. How can they find you, get a hold of you if they have questions or they want to find more of your music?
Yeah, so they can go directly to my website at www.cormmusic, and that's music is spelled MUZIK .com. And so you'll also find that same engine on for Instagram, Facebook, and another outlet, certainly on Spotify. Please look me up, CORM and 2 exclamation points. And I'll really be appreciated. And I thank you for all the love for the fans.
And one more thing, don't forget, you've got a book, don't you? You've got a book out there.
Yeah, I have a book called Driven. And you can go to the www.thedrivenbook.com. And that's a book basically about life, you know, things that I've gone through. No one's perfect. It's some of my trials and tribulations in life. You know, there were several times in my life where I really didn't have it together. I didn't know what was going to happen. Credit cards all charged up. You know, I did things that, you know, anyone did.
Yeah.
And they were coming up and didn't figure out where it was going to go. But I was always passionate about what I did, good, bad, or somewhere in between. And through it all, through surrounding yourself by good people, you know, watching your environments and believing in God and pushing forward. You know, I had some really good people along the way that helped were guides to me to be a good person. So if you surround yourself with good people, then it's going to be almost impossible for you to go the wrong way. But you surround yourselves by people that aren't very good, then things are going to happen. So hopefully the book is not for someone that has been successful. Everything they've touched just turned to gold. It's a book about, look, I came to this point, I failed, and this is how it happened for me, and I was able to work it out. Then I failed again, and then I failed again, and then things worked out. So, you know, it's really a help book for those that are like, man, don't give up on life. If you fail the first time, the second time, there's always a way. Maybe you're just looking through the wrong lens, and maybe you need to change your surroundings. So it's about choices.
I'd like to thank EDM DJ CORM for joining us this week. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Well, if you told me you were drowning, I would not lend you a hand. I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. Well, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. So you can wipe off that grin. I know where you've been. 'Cause I've been back alive. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free, but what you got to do to get it is go over to ProfitRadio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. There's a little drop-down menu. You can see all the different podcasts that are broadcast out of the studio. Pick yourself something, and they'll send it to you. It's just their way of saying thank you for supporting all the podcasts that come out of the studio. And if you live overseas, it might take a little bit longer to get to you, but usually they send it out within 48 hours over at Profit Radio. And they got some magnets, some stickers, and buttons, some keychains, all that stuff. So pick yourself something out over there, and they'll send it out to you for free. Now, do you remember? You remember that time? Do you remember the two astronauts that went up for like an 8-day trip, and they've been up there for like 9 months now? Well, guess what? They finally got rescued. SpaceX finally sent that rocket ship up there and connected to the International Space Station, where the two people, let's figure out their names before I start just calling them people. Williams and Barry Whitmore. Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore have been up there and for almost 9 months now. They left June 5th of last year, and they're now just being rescued. Now, a lot of people say there's conspiracy and stuff. And when I say conspiracy, they said, well, they were only supposed to be up there for 9 days. And, Christmas came around, they had Santa hats on. And I said, I brought out the point that, hey, other people have been on that space station for longer than they have. They've been up there. They were supposed to go up for 9 days, and they ended up staying for 9 months. Other people have been up there, and they probably brought like tchotchkes and stuff like that to celebrate whatever holiday that's as they're spinning around the earth and stuff. But right now, it's like a regular Spencer's gift store up there. Because just before SpaceX capsule docked with the International Space Station, two astronauts who found themselves in space unexpectedly for 9 months could prepare to return to Earth. An alien was spotted on board the NASA's live feed. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm going to switch over to camera 4 here, and you can see it. There it is, right there. Holy Jesus. There's a fucking alien on there, man. Oh. But the spacecraft that took them encountered problems so much that it was unsafe for it to return. So they were expected to return in September, and that fell through because of lack of emergency pod for the other crews on board. So they've been up there ever since. To get back down to Earth, the SpaceX capsule was launched on Friday, March 14th, with 4 astronauts inside, so they could take over for Williams and Wilmore, who have been up there way, way, way too long. Just before the capsule successfully docked on the ISS Sunday, March 16th, an alien was spotted on the official feed right there. So if you're looking at it, there it is. Proof of life. Proof of alien encounters. So stupid. Instead of let me switch back to me now. Instead of it being an extraterrestrial life though. Oh, Jesus Christ. Instead of it being an extraterrestrial life, though, Crew 9 member Nick Hague decided to wear a gray alien mask as his crew awaited for the arrival of the Crew 10 to take over for them. Hague was seen floating and darting around inside the ISS in a black hoodie and his mask, much to the amusement of many social media. So I'm going to switch back over to camera 4. There he is. He's got one of those generic rubber masks on his face. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess they were trying to make a news article out of it, and obviously it was successful. He kept the mask on. As SpaceX capsule successfully docked, the Crew 10 could be seen boarding the ISS while the 9 crew members embraced them as well. So this is actually the video of them. Switch back to camera 4 here. This is when they actually took over the space capsule. So here we go. Are we going to listen to you? Yeah, we'll listen to you. Oh, we got to listen to an article first. We have to listen to an ad. Here we go.
Part of a NASA crew swap, which will allow Butch Wilmore and Billy Williams to return home after 9 months stranded on the orbiting lab. It follows delays and aborted attempts to bring them back to Earth, a mission given greater urgency by President Donald Trump since his insistence insistence since taking.
Yeah, I know the feeling,
Let's
guy.
hear now from one of the new arrivals, NASA's Anne McClain.
So I always have a question. Let's go back to me now. When they're floating around in space and the women's hair, right? You've seen it. You saw the video there. It's like this big, almost like it's spongy. It doesn't, because there's no gravity, and it's not like laying down. Wouldn't you do something with it? And do you have to wash your hair? Because the dirt wouldn't stick in there, isn't it? In there as well? I don't know. Just something just back in my mind. But you would think they would put something in. Hey, Elizabeth, your hair's getting all in my shit. I'm sorry, I can't help it. You would think they would have some kind of skull cap on to keep their hairs from floating around and getting in the oxygen scrubbers or whatever. All this hair stuck in the vent. We can't breathe, and you have to go over there and pick it off like the drain of a shower tub. When you get out, when your wife gets out of the shower, there's all that hair stuck to it. It's the same thing. Shouldn't they do something about that? I don't know. Maybe maybe they do. Maybe they got something going on there. But they're back home, thank God, I guess. Were we worried about it? Not really. Were we, conspiracy theories? Yes, we were. Now, speaking of conspiracy theories right now, Donald Trump said, before the election, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Well, right now, the elites are eating mermaids. This TikTok's wild new conspiracy theory is explained. Oh, and does it ever? A particular strange conspiracy that wealthy elites are holding mermaid-eating dinner parties events is leaking onto TikTok feeds. In March 2025, users have begun telling bizarre stories about people. Am I on the right screen? Telling bizarre stories about people that they claim to know who work to catch these fantastical creatures for culinary purposes, or about rich friends who are privileged enough to taste the fishy flesh. Mermaids are folklore. It goes all the way back to ancient Greek myths about sirens, changing from bird people to fish people over time. Stories about sailors and others have spotted these creatures continued all the way to the 21st century, recently taking over on a new and sinister twist. This month, multiple TikTokers have gone viral with stories about capturing and consumption of mermaids. Users often frame this practice as clandestine culinary experiences reserved to those who can pay huge amounts of money for a single meal. Some have reported that dinners experience strange supernatural effects after eating the fillet of mermaid. On March 11, 2025, user Tiff Ghost Talk, all right, she's already a lunatic then. She's already a lunatic now, who claims to be the original source of these stories, but she isn't, posted a video saying that she got an email from someone who attended the mermaid-eating dinner party, according to a man she calls Jonah, because of the Jonah and the whale. A ticketed dinner cost almost $50,000. A limo took him to a secret location where the host wore a spooky mask. It's like an Eyes Wide Shut story here. The flavor was exquisite, she quotes. Unlike anything he'd ever known. Sweet like scallops, rich like wagyu, and with a depth of umami, U-M-A-M-I, that seemed to awaken something deep inside his senses. It's as if he was tasting the ocean itself. Ooh. A little salty. Not just its bounty, but its soul. The delicious taste wasn't all he got with that $50,000. He also said a warmth spread through his body. My heart beat slower. My breath deepened around me, and other guests had closed their eyes, and their faces were soft with pleasure. Your guys are dying. You're having a stroke. Don't eat the fish, whatever it is. Then he describes Jonah in this email, a low, resonant hum, a vibration in my bones and my blood. Yeah, you're dying. Your body's shutting down. Jonah went on to say that his mind was filled with visions of deep blue waters, endless calm, filled with whispers, not words, but emotions, memories, and as if the sea had opened up to him, revealing his secrets. Your body is shutting down. It's giving you all this life force stuff so you can go away peacefully. Now, on March 4th, 2025, user Julie posted a video telling a long story about he was down on his luck, about a story about a man who was down on his luck named Landon, who got a job on a fishing boat. And he had signed a non-disclosure agreement along with his cousin's strange new crew, he says. One night, they caught their quarry, a mermaid, who spoke a strange language and seemed to be begging for her life. All right. Let's see what she says. Hold on there, darling. I know everyone gets excited to talk. So let's see what this lady says. This is J. Lee, the letter J, Lee 2.70. What happened to the first 6? So let's see what she says. Let's turn the volume up and see.
A company that catches big fish.
Big
if
fish.
You can call them that. They kind of feel like us a little bit. But they do it for a living. So this guy named Landon, he's like 28 years old. He's living with his parents. He's fresh out of prison. He bounces back and forth from job to job. And finally, his parents put him out on his ass. They're like, look, you need to go call your cousin.
First of all, this lady, if she told me any story other than she was addicted to drugs or meth or anything like that, I would not believe her. She's missing like all of her teeth on top. She's got like 4 teeth on the bottom.
And he has a fishing charter. You know, get in touch with him and see if you can't go to work for your cousin Travis. He gets in touch with Travis. Landon leaves the Midwest and goes to the East Coast to this little fishing community. It's all about fishing charters. This is like their main means of income in this community. Well, he gets out there, he stays a couple of days, and they're getting ready to go back out, and then he finds out it's not his cousin's fishing charter anymore. He lost his fishing charter.
Dun, dun, dun!
So he meets up with a couple of guys. We're just going to use this picture as an example. He meets up with the crew, and this other guy, which they call Captain Burgess, we're going to call him Captain Burgess, was running this charter. And he was like, wait a minute, dude, this is not what you told me. You know, you didn't tell me up until now that this was not your crew. So Landon's like, okay, fuck it, let's just go ahead and
fuck it, Landon.
Right? Especially when you're a felon. So they get out to this boat, and it's not like a little bitty dingy boat or anything like that, but it's not a huge.
Can you get to the end of the story, please?
Huge boat. It's like a medium size. Okay,
got it.
And
not
Travis
a big boat.
Is showing Landon all around the boat, and they walk into this room. They had left the kitchen area, and he showed him where the bunks were,
which is next to the bathroom area.
They walked through to get to the bunks through a room that had some tanks in it.
Okay.
But these weren't normal at all.
Oh, no.
It was kind of like this, but it had a bluish fluid in it.
Okay.
And he said that it
like
had
a big aquarium tank.
And there were these little things that snapped down to the ground to hold it in place, but you could also unsnap them and you could wheel it around. Kind of like this color.
All right, thank you.
So out of curiosity, he's like, Travis, what are those for?
I don't know.
And he was like, oh, those are for the big payday. Okay, those are from when we get big bonus. That's big bonus time.
You should have started the story with the big bonus thing instead of like, and then, Landon, who's a son of 3 other children, and so on and so forth. I wish I could fast forward this.
To him that Captain Burgess has a very specific clientele over certain types of fish that they will get a mega bonus.
She throws up the quotes.
Well, after he finishes doing all that, and they go and they eat dinner, and they're getting ready to push out or whatever.
Get on with it!
Burgess approaches him and wants him to sign a piece of paper.
Oh, God.
And he said that on this piece of paper, it basically states that anything that you see out here, you're not to come back and talk about it. Basically like a little NDA. He said the first 2 days they were out there, it was just regular fish. Well,
got it.
It was a stormy night, and they were going to head back in because it was going to be really, really bad.
That's what a stormy night
Burgess
is.
Had all this equipment in his office and everything else, And he was like, no, we're not going back in. We got something big. It's all hands on deck. You know what I mean? They're all outside. It's pouring rain. It's storming.
Of course it is.
And they bring the net up. Okay? They bring this net.
I'm with you.
Down at the
all
bottom.
Right.
All down.
Bring it home.
Up. And he said what he saw inside was like nothing he had ever seen before, probably ever will again if he ever lives to tell the story again.
Okay.
He said that it was like a pasty, whitish green skin, okay?
Okay.
And the fin, okay, from like the hip bone down, like the hip bones were huge. But from there down, it was just like the body of a fish. And he said that it was like bright, greenish white, silvery scales.
Okay.
And very, very slimy. And like greenish black hair. And wasn't pretty. But this one in particular wasn't putting up very much of a fight. And it spoke. He said that he couldn't understand what language it was speaking in, but it felt like it was begging for its life.
Don't kill me.
So Burgess is screaming, get the tank. They get it rolled out there. The fluid in it sloshing all over the place. They get her in there, and she sinks to the bottom.
Very detailed.
And she's just pleading for her life, underwater, pleading for her life.
Don't kill me.
I did not sign up for this. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
And so he asked his cousin that night.
Oh,
said,
Jesus.
Big deal out of this right now. Don't do it. Well, something really sinister is afoot, and he doesn't even realize it. They end up pushing off. Okay, the storm starts to calm down or whatever.
Of course it does.
And they ended up going to port, and they went to a different warehouse. And they took this siren to a different warehouse, and it was set up like a restaurant. Come to find out, these clientele, he had sonar machines and everything to track these things down. Okay, like stuff that you would not even believe if you saw it. And
please tell me you believe in Sasquatch. Please tell me you've got a story about a Yeti or something like that.
They were all there. The crew was there and everything else. And these people, that had him go and catch this thing. And they say it's like really common among the wealthy. And they put it on a gurney. They pushed it out. And
is it dead?
Had their knives and forks and everything else. It was set up like hibachi, sort of. It's a really long story, and I'm trying to shorten it down. But
no, don't stop now.
Going back out one more time, and he's struggling with himself. And he said he didn't know if he could ever watch or see that thing scream like that again, because you know what they did with it, right?
No.
And he said that he was really, really struggling with his humanity, but he took the next job because it paid so well. He was like, it paid so well. So they ended up not seeing any on the line.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
He was like, thank God that's over. Well, they ended up running into another one, but this one was a fighter. And it didn't look the same.
Okay.
Like this one had a blackish tone skin with like white colored hair, whitish green color.
Yo, man, you ain't taking me.
Super duper weird. But these things do actually exist. But you want to hear more about it, because he told me like 3 of them. He said he only experienced 3 times, and that he basically was in fear for his life.
Oh my God.
Of the clientele. And he's like, I will never reveal who they are. He was like, but they're pretty high up, and people know who they are.
That's it? That's it. Oh my God. Are you still with me? Are you alive, people? God, I'm barely alive. Jesus Christ. She should have just said, my cousin Landon went out on a boat, and then they were fishing for something, and they caught something crazy, and then brought it into a little too much detail. Little bit too much detail. So I don't know if it's real or not, but I guess they're eating mermaids out there, and mermaids exist. Oh, well. If you ever eaten a mermaid or been to one of those $50,000 mermaid parties, let me know. And the way you do that is go to profitradio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard. When we come back, guess what guys are doing to prove that they are very, very much a masculine person? And I don't know. I guess we're trying to separate, the gene pool and males and females. So this is one way you can find out exactly if it's a male or female. So stick around. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Make sure you follow us over on TikTok. And the way you find us is search Be Podcast Famous. And by the way, my Facebook page is up. I just signed on. Now, I didn't do anything spectacular about it yet. I'm still in the process of deciding on how I want to take the Facebook page from my personal to all the different podcasts that come out of the Prophet Radio studio. So I'll update you when I get all that figured out. But yes, I am back on Facebook. But it's just a small little page. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't asked any friends or anything. I just kind of put my picture up there and put the banner across the background, and then that's it. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to stick. It was going to hold. I wasn't going to get kicked off or banned. So as of now, I'm back on Facebook, but I'll give you all that information later on as the shows progress on throughout the year. But you can find us over on TikTok. It's Be Podcast Famous, and the reason why I say that is because you can be podcast famous. Your voice can be heard right here in the studio, and the way you do that is go to profitradio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard. Leave a message, comes right to our inbox, and we broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. Now, if I haven't lost you with the mermaid story yet, Jesus Christ. All you millennials out there, there's something, I've heard this before, and I just kind of shook it off as a weird thing. And then I start seeing more people on TikTok saying, I have this. Now, do you have this? And what it's called is a millennial mole. People are shocked after realizing they all have a millennial mole. There's a lot that millennials have in common. For example, music taste, memories of the 90s through nostalgia TV shows. Yet there also appears to be another trend that is typical for the millennial age group. The term millennial mole has begun to trend online and refers to a recent social discussion discussing that many individuals born between 1980 and 1996 all have a mole in the same place. Discoveries have been on many people join online, with numerous users sharing their own experiences and checking what they call a so-called millennial mole. Now, if you don't know where it's at, it's kind of, if you're watching me here on the camera over on YouTube, if you're not on YouTube right now, shame on you. But what it is, there's a little mole. Do I have it? I'm not a millennial, but there's a little mole right here somewhere on your either hand. But it's a little mole right by your thumb and your index finger, somewhere on your hand. I don't know if it's for guys or just for girls and so on. Influencer Anna Lee took to Instagram with a video caption, "I was shocked." Do you have this as well? In the clip, she asks the camera as she shares, "Okay, I got to check this out for yourself. I just read this whole thing about millennials and how they have a millennial chances that they have a millennial mole on their forearm." So, it's their forearm, I guess. Do I have one? I can't see under the lights. Our extravagant light crew here. Let's see what else it says. How did this happen? How do we all wind up with the same mole in this exact same spot? I'm so weirded out by this. Do you have this? She replies. In the comments, it shows that matching moles, could we all be a trend? As one person replied, "As I was rolling my eyes at the post, I decided to check my arm and stunned out that I found my very own millennial mole." Another one said, "Mine is more on the inside of my forearm, but yes, it's there." And another one says, "What sorcery is this? I have it as well." So let's see. I'm going to watch this video. Is this her video here? Oh, it's going to only view on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram. So if you have a millennial mole, we'd love to see it. And you can email me anytime at deacon@profitradio.com and show me your millennial mole. Now, just the mole. I don't need to see the whole entire thing. I got one on my penis. I don't need to see the millennial mole penis. Now, last story here. As if masculinity couldn't be more fragile right now, men are now shaving off their eyelids to appear less feminine. Oh, is that what makes you feminine? Well, in today's what the heck is happening to the world right now news, men are reportedly shaving off their eyebrows. And I'll switch over to camera 4 here so you can see this. Shaving off their eyebrows in an apparent effort to appear more masculine. It all started when a viral TikTok video, of course it's all TikTok videos, now has over 36 million views, claiming that there's a new trend where toxic masculinity men or masculine men shave their eyebrows off to appear less feminine. In the video, a barber takes a pair of hair clippers this close to a man's eyeball to shave off his eyebrows. Look how close that is. Oh my God, that's gotta it. Oh man, my eyes are itching just do. Oh, no. Then there was this video where a barber performed a similar operation. Is it an operation? It's just a haircut. And then this clip as well, where he's using scissors. Honestly, I can't tell if the barbers and the men are just trolling at this point, but the internet is not amused. That's so embarrassing, one person commented. Are straight men okay? Someone asked. about the clips. I want to see them actually doing it. Well, this is an actual trend. Whether this is an actual trend or just a rage bait still remains to be seen. The barber who filmed this video, of himself trimming his eyelashes, told BuzzFeed that only one person had ever requested it, then polled his clients on Instagram. 98% said they wouldn't try it. So let's see if I can find the video here. Let's get down to this. Oh, it's on Instagram. I can't watch it on Instagram. I'm not there yet. Still disabled. Look at that. All right, let's go back to me now. So there you go. If you feel like your masculinity is being threatened, guys, go ahead and do this. 1, grow a long fucking beard, like the Sasquatch beard. You know, they got all the beard oil and stuff. 2, shave your eyelashes off. That seems right? That seems about par for the course as far as the way everything's going right now. Oh, well. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the show, we appreciate you if you go over to YouTube and give us a like and subscribe over there. We don't do it for the money over there, just another avenue for you to enjoy this media product that we call Deacon Live. Give us a thumbs up over there. Share it with your friends. You can email me anytime at deacon@prophetradio.com. And also, while you're over at prophetradio.com, you can be heard. Your voice can be right here during the show. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and comment on all the other podcasts that we've been doing here, or our past shows and stuff. Just give me a watermark of what show you're talking about. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon, saying good night and good night.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I was not in the mood at the beginning of the show. I was not in the mood. I'm sorry. Sorry. Just in my headspace. So, thank you guys. Thank you. See ya. Take care. Bye.